Are you too busy to pick out the perfect outfit every day? I get it. It's tough to juggle work, life, and still find the time to focus on fashion. That's where Armoire comes in. With a clothing rental membership, you can effortlessly turn heads with stylish, everyday looks tailored just for you. With all of our book events and photo ops recently, I've rented all my outfits from Armoire. It's been so fun and so great to not have to buy a whole new wardrobe, but also be on trend and even experiment with some different styles. All I did was take a quick 5-minute style quiz, build a personalized closet, and wait for high-quality, unique pieces delivered to my door in as little as 2 days. Oh, and did I mention that Armoire is women-founded and women-led? Right now, our listeners can give Armoire a try and get up to 50% off their first month. That's up to $125 off. Just visit armoire.style/dateable. That's Armoire, spelled ARMOIRE.style/DATEABLE to get up to 50% off your first month and never worry about what to wear again. Try Armoire today.
I know firsthand how much stress can mess with your hormones. Between work, life, and everything else, it's easy to feel completely out of balance. That's where Happy Mammoth comes in. They offer a free 2-minute quiz that can help you uncover the root cause of your hormonal symptoms. It's super easy. Just answer a few questions about what you're going through and where you're at in life. You'll get a personalized recommendation to help balance your hormones and start feeling better. When I took the quiz, it suggested that my body may be overloaded with hormone estrogen and may be struggling to metabolize it. By taking Hormone Harmony, it could help with bloating, anxiety, fatigue, overwhelm, and so much more. With over 40,000 5-star reviews and a bottle selling every 24 seconds, the results speak for themselves. So if you're ready to start feeling like yourself again, head over to happymammoth.com and take their free 2-minute hormone quiz today to find the ultimate answers to your stubborn hormonal issues. And for a limited time, you could also get 15% off your entire first order with our code DATEABLE at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code DATEABLE for 15% off today.
Hi, I'm Yue Xu.
And I'm Julie Kraftchick.
We're active daters turned dating insiders.
Here to dive into everything modern dating and relationships.
Welcome to Dateable. Hello, friends.
Welcome back to another episode of Dateable.
And we are getting flirty today. I can't remember the last time I flirted.
I feel like, okay, well, first of all, we have an incredible guest today. His name is Benjamin Camras, and he is a flirt coach, and we've been following him on Instagram forever. We got the pleasure to be on his Flirtations Flirtcast, and I was like re-listening to the episode because we have a whole process. We obviously record, and then we edit, and I was re-listening to the edit, and you had way too much fun with the Flirtcast, like the way he says flirting.
Flirt.
Yeah, you say it like 20 times, and I'm like,
you ready to flirt?
Yes. He has a lot of personality. This is going to be a fun episode for people.
But it is also a good question for you all listening. When was the last time you intentionally flirted? Can you think of the time you exercised your flirtatious skills?
This was a really good topic for Yue and I because we have a love-hate relationship with the word flirt that we get into with Benjamin. But I think this was like a good reset for us to think about it differently because I think the way we think about it is a lot of like I don't know, like I guess what's a good way to say it? Like
the traditional.
Yeah, like traditional gender roles, like women acting helpless and just like, I don't know, just a little cringe, I guess. And I love this like the way that Benjamin redefines flirting. I can get behind that.
It's all about connecting.
Yeah, that really is.
That's it. Yeah, but in a playful, non-outcome driven way. It's just see if there's a connection. And I think you can flirt with anybody. It doesn't have to be a crush or romantic potential. We can flirt with our friends. It's fun. I want to flirt more with everybody.
I think that's what it is, that it always felt like there was this outcome that was expected from it. And I think releasing that outcome makes it a lot more fun and less stressful to me. Because like I think when I traditionally hear you need to flirt, it's like I need to act a different way or I need to do this behavior to get this result. And it always felt unnatural. And I think a lot of people could probably relate to that. So if you saw flirt in the title and that's the way you're thinking, we're going to say stay with us because this is actually going to really change the way you think about it because it did for me.
Do you have a friend in mind who you would consider especially flirtatious?
Yes. And it's
You do?
maybe the same person that you're thinking of.
Current mom?
No.
Mom?
No.
Oh.
Okay, we're thinking of different people.
Hell.
I mean, okay, one of our friends, I feel like she's just a natural flirt. Like she would walk in anywhere and walk out with a number.
Huh. I got to really think about this because the person that comes to mind is another mutual friend who is a mom, a wife with kids. But when she goes out, she goes out.
Wait, who are you talking about? Okay, we need to reveal coded actual names.
You should do beeps when we say their names. That would be funny. So I'm thinking of
Oh, so I don't think of her as a flirt.
Oh.
Like, because she's not really like talking to dudes a lot and like interacting. I feel like she's more there just to like get fucked up and hang out. I don't know.
Who are you thinking of? Oh, okay. I see. A different kind of flirt.
Okay, so
that's so funny.
Tell me
Okay,
your
yeah.
case for this person then.
Yeah. I feel like she is extremely extroverted when she goes out. And
Okay.
She'll talk to anybody at the bar and somehow get free drinks
Okay.
and access into places because she can talk her way into anything when she's drunk.
So maybe that is the definition. I don't know, because I feel like, again, maybe it's the outcome driven I'm thinking of, because she's doing it not necessarily to like, meet someone or anything like that. No. It's more just to like, I don't know, have a good time and do things.
Yeah, to get free drinks.
So there is a motive. It's just not a romantic motive.
It's not like to hook up because she has a husband.
So the person I'm thinking of, I swear she could be anywhere and someone would be like all about it and she would walk out with someone's number or a date. And she would like literally say like 5 things to them and somehow it would be like a magnet towards her.
Because she is an unintentional flirt. The way I've observed the way she flirts is she's being nice, and we know that she is nice to everybody, not discerning of who she's nice to. And people mistaken that for attention, and then they feel special because she's the one person that gave them attention that day. And yes, you're right. She'll walk out anywhere with some stragglers just like obsessed with her all the time.
So, okay, here's another person that comes to mind.
Yes.
Back in the day, that we used to have a friend that would go out with like a very clear intention of meeting someone. And we would like be at a bar. She'd have to position herself in the right direction. That to me, I guess, is more like when I think of like traditional flirt.
Yes.
But that to me, I was always like, oh, that feels so painful.
Yeah, because she was flirting by rules. She knew step 1, 2, 3 of what to do. And it wasn't about having fun or building connection. It was purely for attention.
So I feel like we did take Benjamin's quiz that we'll link for people too. We did take it. And I actually think mine is dead on.
What'd you get on?
Because I got the playful flirt.
Oh, me too.
Okay. I could see that for you too.
What are the options? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. You love lighthearted banter, humor, and teasing when you flirt. You may even roast the other person a bit. You enjoy creating a fun and energetic atmosphere when you flirt, using your personality, wit, and charm to engage with others. You may even use playful touches or nudges. You embrace spontaneity and enjoy going with the flow in the flirt. You definitely know how to keep the flirt exciting.
So the other styles are sincere, traditional, and physical.
Okay.
Sincere is when you focus on building genuine connections through meaningful conversations. Traditional is, I think, what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
It's like this gender roles and maybe using subtle and reserved manner to lure someone to come over. Mm-hmm. And then physical is a lot of physical touch, a lot of nonverbals.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then I guess I'm definitely playful of this bunch.
So I feel like for me, this makes sense because I don't think any of my friends would describe me as a flirty person. I don't
Okay.
think you would. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never seen you out there.
That's my point. That is my
Okay.
point because
Yes,
I'm
okay.
not out there. But like when I'm with someone, it was like
Mhm.
a different vibe. I'm not like a let's go meet out in the wild and I'm just going to like lay it on you. But when
Yeah.
I'm like on a date one on one and I'm feeling comfortable, like I'm definitely playful. And I
Yeah.
think like I guess from a personality wise, but then I'll also do like playful touch and like little stuff like that too to show I'm interested.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. And then your partner feels special because they don't see you displaying that behavior to everybody out there. I think my friend is a general flirt, playful flirt. I mean, she'll flirt with everybody. And she told me that no matter what kind of date she goes on, she has to sit on the same side as the person she's going on a date with.
Interesting.
Even if she's not interested, she has to sit on the same side.
So I do think there's some merit to that of like it's easier to like do the playful touch and like the touch on the leg or arm or something when you're side by side. A lot easier than like reaching over the table. So awkward. But I think like for me, I would love like situations that presented that, like if you were at a
Mm.
bar, but I wouldn't necessarily sit on the same side of the table like if I wasn't in that. Like I remember I had someone once like at dinner want to sit next to me and I found it really awkward and uncomfortable. But I
Yeah,
also
because
didn't
you
really like
probably
them. So
Yeah, exactly. You weren't into them. You
that's
weren't
true.
into them.
That's true. Things change a lot depending if you're into them.
So her theory is that you can be into anybody if you sit on the same side as them.
I don't
That you
know.
can build chemistry much faster. I don't know. That's her theory. So she has to sit on the same side with every date.
Well, there are studies around that like having conversations like in a car or side by side, that there is something there. It's interesting because you would think like there's loss of eye contact that way, but
And it's
I
just
don't
an
know.
awkward angle.
But there is a reason why bars, like, I mean, obviously the ambiance overall is conducive for dates, but the side by side, there is something there. And you're like kind of turned a little towards them. So it's not like you're
Yeah.
like not looking at them at all.
It doesn't feel like you're interrogating. It's like you're
Yeah.
on the same side.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to deep dive. I'd love to have Paul Eastwick and Eli Finkel do a study on this. Maybe they have already. We'll have to hit them up.
Or maybe we should ask Benjamin. We didn't get to ask him on this episode, but we will. We'll do a follow-up. We'll post the result on our Instagram, but it is a very good question. Are there studies about this?
Well, I was just thinking like real scientific, but I would love Benjamin's take on this because I'm sure he has one.
Yeah, I think it would change the way I treat my partner because I'm always like sitting across. It's just more practical for me.
I do feel like when I go out to a bar and sit next to him or even at a restaurant, but at a bar, I do feel like a different energy that's happening because of the side by side. So I think there's something there. I'd love to know more about it.
Yeah, that's our homework.
That is our homework. But all of your homework, no, we're not giving you homework. But if you are in San Francisco or LA, we do have a few more events that are coming up and we'd love to see your faces. We are going to be actually this weekend. UA is doing a hot 1-day trip for San Francisco.
A hot trip.
Hot trip. 24 hours, not even 24 hours. I think I'm like, no offense to LA, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, but I'm like, I think I'm good with coming to LA for a bit.
I know.
'Cause it's been a lot of back and forth.
I know. I feel the same way about SF.
I know.
It's like, because it's nothing new for us. So we're not like, it's not a vacation in any way.
I don't even think it's that for me, at least. It's just how many times we've been back and forth to both.
No, I know it is for you. It's fucking LAX. I would not want to go to LAX either.
Yeah, I think it's like
LAX.
No, it's for me, it's like if I was going every 3 months, I'd be cool with it. But
Yeah.
there was 1 month that it was like 2 weeks span, and same for you to SF.
You've come twice. So let's not be dramatic.
Really? I feel like it's been
Let's
way
not be dramatic.
more than that. Okay.
You've
It's not like
come
I'm not
twice.
going to come to LA. I'm just saying, glad that we're going to maybe
She is so
go to some
dramatic,
other
you guys.
places.
She's come twice.
Has it really been 2 times? It feels like way more than that.
It's because it was a lot of travel. It was just a lot of
Yeah.
events.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm excited. It's been a hot minute. So we are going, I don't want to like,
So dramatic.
I see how it's coming off. I don't want to mean like I'm not excited for this because I am. But yeah, I'm just not someone that loves being on planes a lot. So that's another story.
But it is May 10th in the morning at 11 a.m. We're going to be at Books Inc. on Chestnut Street in the Marina.
Which is my favorite bookstore. I'm really excited.
And all we're doing is signing books.
Yeah.
That's it.
So come by.
Swing by.
I know, especially we know there's a lot of people in that general area or it's not that difficult to get to. I love just like taking a morning walk there, just pop it in. So yeah.
Yes. And then on the same day, if you happen to live in Livermore or near Livermore,
or you want to go wine tasting and then come to this.
Or the outlets.
That's true. There's
so many things that draw you to Livermore. We're going to be at a Lit Fest at the Las Positas Community College at 3:30 doing a panel discussion about our book. And it's open to the public and it's free.
Yeah. And also Books Inc. is free too. Obviously get the book and get it signed. But if you already have the book, bring it and get it signed. But I'm excited about this Lit Fest because this has been on the calendar for a long time.
Yeah.
And I remember us being like, May is forever away. And here we are.
And here
we are. And then, of course, the following week, we will be going to the Santa Monica Public Library for the 15th. I don't know. A bunch of people have told us they're coming through for this event. Yes. So I think it's going to be really fun. And then we'll also be doing an event at the ground floor on Friday, the 16th, which is where in Echo Park.
Echo Park. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. Come to any of those events. We love to meet you, re-meet you, revisit, flirt with you. We'll try our best.
And we will put them on the website too, so you can see it all. And did want to just like read one review that we got from the book that made me I don't know. There's a couple that have come in that have made me really happy. Like maybe we can read your friends too. That one made me so happy. But there was one that we got from Julia. And this is what it said, the real deal for dating today. It was like listening to all the best parts of the Dateable podcast over the last 5 years in one place. People, this dating advice, gold, all caps. These ladies helped to change my entire experience of not only dating over the last few years, but also how I approach friendships, coworkers, my clients, family, and myself. The advice in this book is truly what we all need these days to get past all the dating games and start to show up as who we really are, unafraid to attract what we really want in a partner. So good.
Thank you, Julia.
Oh, it makes me so happy.
And that wasn't you, Julie, posing as Julia.
No, right? You know how much I don't like when people call me Julia. So not that Julia is not a good name. It's just not the same name. And I don't understand why people mix it up all the time.
And then the one from my friend Alan, he said, you and Julie did a fantastic job distilling the disparate noises of the modern dating world into the most simplest principle forms, which also apply to principles of life, very much like what Warren Buffett does for investing. If I had read this in my 20s, I can think of many situations it would have helped me better navigate. In that regard, this will be a very meaningful book for anyone who reads it. Very proud of you and all the lives you'll positively affect with your work and all the good ripple effects that will come from that.
Oh, love it.
Paying it forward.
Love it. So if you haven't yet, go get it. Go get How to Be Dateable. HowToBeDateable.com. You can pick up the hardcover, Kindle, audiobook, whatever is your jam. Okay. Well, before we get into it with Benjamin, let's hear a message from our sponsors.
Once the weather started getting warmer, I realized I was back in the same worn-out rotation. Same tank, same shorts, same everything. So I gave my daily uniform an upgrade with Quince. Their pieces are easy, elevated, and somehow make me feel more put together without even trying. Like 100% European linen shorts and dresses from $30, luxe swimwear, Italian leather platform sandals, and so much more. Now, my favorite summer item has been the super soft bike shorts that are so perfect for everyday wear and has the quality of high-end athleisure brands. But by cutting out the middlemen, Quince gives you luxury without the markup. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Treat your closet to a little summer glow up with Quince. Go to quince.com/dateable for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/DATEABLE to get free shipping and 365 5-day returns. Quince.com/dateable. Does it feel like most healthy snacks just taste so bland? Well, I think I may have found the perfect healthy snack. Washington Red Raspberries. They're a clean, simple, and seriously delicious way to add more nutrients to your day. So get this, they're American grown, picked at peak ripeness, and frozen within hours to lock in nutrients like fiber, antioxidants, and vitamin C. And I love to toss them in a smoothie or yogurt for breakfast or eat them as a healthy treat throughout the day. Grown with care by American farmers in Washington state, frozen Washington Red Raspberries are one of the best kept secrets in the freezer aisle. Make sure to always check the label for American grown frozen raspberries. Want to discover new ways to use American frozen red raspberries and get more details on where you can grab a bag of these delicious berries? Go to redraz.org. That's redrazz.org. You'll find recipes, healthy tips, retail locations, and everything you need to make frozen Washington Red Raspberries a regular part of your routine.
Okay, let's flirt with Benjamin.
Get ready to flirt. I love the intro to your show, Benjamin. It's like, get ready to flirt.
Y'all like the flirty theme song for flirtation?
We are ready.
Yes.
We're so ready.
We're ready to flirt with our guest today, Benjamin Camras, who is a flirt coach and a gay Libra.
Yes.
I love
Very
that that's
important.
part of your intro each time. It's
Yeah. It's branding is such a thing. And, when I was just getting started, I was trying all the things like what's going to be sort of my signature open and just tried Gay Libra one day. And lo and behold, here we are. It's stuck. I think it says everything you need to know about me, my full credentials right there.
Well, we're so excited to have you because we had the pleasure of being on your Flirtcast and we were like, okay, instant chemistry, need to have him back on Dateable. So we're excited to dive into it with you.
Me as well. Thank you so much for having me on Dateable and for coming on my podcast, Flirtcast Flirtations as well. That was a great conversation.
We flirted. Oh
my God, how many times is you ain't going to say it?
I'm just going to keep flirting. Do you know why I keep wanting to say that? It's because, to be so transparent, we haven't used that word on our podcast in so long.
Flirt?
I've been like, yes.
Yeah.
I think there's something with the word flirt that I think we should first define, because I grew up thinking flirting was like dropping your handkerchiefs and waiting for the man to pick it up, and that's how you flirt. But you're talking about something very different here. So tell us your definition of flirting.
A little bit different indeed. The word flirt, it just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? It just, something about it.
Think?
It just makes you feel good. It does. It does. Yeah. I mean, flirting, it's always kind of had like these baked in gendered roles, right?
Yeah.
Like the handkerchief is such a classic example. I remember a video I made, sort of like the modern day equivalent of that is the fork test. So you're at a restaurant, you're going out to dinner or something, you're grabbing some food, and you're just like, oops, my fork fell on the floor, right? Oops, my bad.
Gosh.
And what happens? What does your date do, right? If it's a guy, do they pick it up? Do they get you a new one? Or do they ignore the fork altogether, right? They're like, fork this. I don't care. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
My approach to flirting really is that it is the practice of connection, right? That's really, it is the art of connection. It's the authentic expression of interest in the present moment without those expectations, where it's really just about, hey, I see you, you see me, let's catch a vibe, create some energy, share some energy. And if we end the flirt with a smile on our faces, what's wrong with that? And we need more connection in our lives across the board, whether it doesn't matter where in the world you live, right? We live just phones down, headphones in, face on the screen, right? We're inside working from home. Like we go about our lives just not even making eye contact with people half the time. Someone looks at us and we immediately look away. It could be you're shy, you're introverted. I don't know, a lot going on. But I just hope to inspire people to make more connections in their lives, also realizing that the flirt can definitely be used for some more maybe juicy scenarios, right? You're dating, you're in a relationship. The flirt can also be foreplay, and it can serve you well in those instances too. Yeah.
I mean, this is why we wanted to have you on the podcast, because we have like a love-hate relationship with this word, flirting, because I think of these traditional gender roles, because it taught you to be inauthentic. Like you and I are elder millennials, so we grew up in the era when there was, a lot of like role playing, and this is how you land a man. And it always felt just kind of icky, like, am I holding a gaze too long that I'm now a stalker, or is this showing interest? And never seemed to like feel, again, I guess authentic is the word I'll keep going back to. But I think where the love of the word comes into is that there is this playful energy that I think is actually missing in dating. So I'm glad that you're able to like redefine this a bit.
Yes. And thank you both for doing what you do, kind of breaking the rules in many ways when it comes to dating and giving daters, I think, a more empowered, authentic, like you were saying, Julie, approach to dating. Like what actually is important to me, what matters, how can I make connections that feel fulfilling, safe, and are freaking fun too. Like that's a huge part of this as well.
We've talked to some flirt coaches in the past who are like, if you want to flirt tonight, you put on that red dress, you go to a hotel lobby, you drink a martini, and you wait for someone to come up to you and you give them a wink and a smile. I think Julie and I were both like, ooh.
Yeah.
But as a flirt coach yourself, how do you get people started? What is the scenario?
Okay, let's stick with that example a little bit. Like it's giving, like it's just giving pickup artists, right? It's giving waiting for when. It's giving, what it's giving is like if you are a woman and you're dating men, it's like you're seeing yourself through the male gaze. It's right. I need to make myself presentable in such a way to be appealing to the male gaze so that then I get approached, right? They initiate. You're boxing yourself into the flirt because in that example, the intent is romantic. The intent is there's going to be a date. The intent is there's going to be a kiss, a hookup, or something like that. So the intention there is, do you like me? Do I like you? And it's like the whole point is for that romantic connection of some sort. I say that's one way to flirt, one way. But when you bring it back to the point of connection, first and foremost, it just opens it up. There's so much more opportunity. The flirt is really limitless in that way. So I like framing it just as an expression of interest, even an act of service, right? It's about energy. It's about play. It's about fun. I've seen online that flirt being described as connection with plausible deniability, right? Am I flirting? Am I not flirting? I'm like, well, I mean, possibly, but also let's just flirt. Like, we can put it out there and that can be okay, even if it's a little nerve wracking.
Right.
You're feeling anxious. Oh my gosh, right? What are they thinking? It's all good. It's all good. Bring it back to you. How do you like to make connections? How do you want to show up? What do you want to talk about? You want to ask something? You want to learn something? Go for it.
I really like this approach because I think one of the challenges with the old definition of flirting is that it feels like it's very like, if I do this, then I'll land someone. And then if I don't do it, then it's a failure. How do you get out of that mindset of like, I'm doing this to like catch the guy or to reel the woman in, like something that's, you know, more outcome focused?
Yeah, it's like when you approach the flirt in that way, it very quickly, like it's either a success or a failure. You very much have expectations accompanying yourself in the flirt, where now if your flirt is not received in a specific way, in the exact way that you intended it to be received, then it wasn't good. I hear this from flirties, from daters all the time, like, oh my gosh, I'm not good at this. I'm not attractive. They don't like me. I'm a bad flirt, right? It's never going to happen. And you might just take yourself out of the game. You might just decide, I'm not going to do this anymore. And I don't want people to do that. And so having the lack of expectations piece is a huge part specific to just how you want that flirt to be received. You have no idea where someone is at, right? If you're just getting to know someone or like you're out in public or something, are they single? What's their sexual identity, right? You don't know anything about them and you're trying to ask all these questions in your head. And I'm like, do you even know this person's name? Right? Maybe you met on the apps and you haven't even met them in person yet. Like, I think it's okay for it to just be an expression of interest, like catching a vibe, having some fun. I think the flirt can be something I've been playing around with recently, is that the flirt is also a little bit about fantasy. Maybe you kind of show up with an archetype of sorts in the flirt, right? Maybe you're a little bit more demure. Maybe you're a little bit more seductive, right? You can play with aspects of your personality and play that up in the flirt too. And just look to make that connection is what it's ultimately all about. And then go from there. Like if you start at 100 and you come in with that romantic flirt, well, it can only be that. It's hard to backpedal from there, right? It's hard to sort of reverse engineer the flirt. But if you start from, you know, like a 20 or something, just like, hey, how are you? My name is, well, it's limitless at that point.
How do you do that authentically? Because I can do that in a role play situation if I was like given a script. But yeah, how do you show up authentically?
Take a deep breath. Just ground yourself and think about like when you don't have maybe the pressure or the expectations or the nerves, how do you like to connect with others? Do you like to make observations? Do you go into some storytelling? Do you offer compliments? Do you ask questions? Do you like to talk about yourself? Do you more so like the other person to talk about themselves? So like there's so much room to play. And then one thing that helps me with nerves, anxiety, and just showing up more authentically is what's something that I may want to learn? What's something I'm curious about? And so like maybe I'm really curious or have a niche interest right now in gardening or something like that. Talk about it, play with it. You never know what you may learn. Like the universe has a weird way of pulling us together. And when we just start talking, you may be talking to a person that is studying that in school, or they have their own garden, or they grew up on a farm. Like then it becomes, oh, we have this point of interest. And then there's your flirt.
I guess why were you drawn to this topic? Like, is this something that you've always just had a knack for? Or is it something that you had to learn?
Everyone has an inner flirt for sure.
Okay.
Maybe I had a leg up as the gay Libra. I don't know. But it definitely is not a practice that came easily to me.
Okay.
I'm definitely introverted. A lot of people are surprised to learn that about me. Social anxiety has been a huge part of my life. There's oftentimes been these barriers, these obstacles, usually within my own mind of I'm too nervous. I can't do this. I'm going to say the wrong thing. I'm awkward. I'm weird. They won't like me. I'm not funny enough. I'm not this enough. It doesn't matter. It's like I'm just talking myself out of the opportunity of just having a moment of connection. And when it starts there, and then of course you can layer and you can grow the flirt. If it's someone you're interested in, you're attracted to, there's some chemistry, you want to explore dating, or you're already dating. I mean, the flirt serves you in every area of your life and all of your relationships. But I had to just practice it for me. And also, something I talk about I really want to talk about it more, is my mental health struggles and experiences, not just with anxiety, but with depression. And my God, I've just spent so much of my life feeling like I wasn't good enough, like no one would like me. Even on my darkest days, my hardest days, just getting out of the house for a moment, even if it's just to grab a coffee, just go to the grocery store, pick up one thing, even if I really didn't need anything, just going out, because connection is the remedy. It's the solution. It's the antidote. It is one of the biggest factors in our own well-being, our health. It's huge. And if all I did was go out, grab a coffee, hold the door for someone, smile, offer them a compliment, really like your shoes kind of thing, at least for a moment, I felt better.
Yeah.
It really did something for my own well-being and mental health. And it just became a practice of connection, yes, but a practice of just being my authentic self as well. And it's one of the ways I feel like I was able to heal. So framing the flirt as a tool for healing and mental health improvement, I don't know, maybe you've heard that before, maybe you haven't, but I believe it.
I don't think we have.
First
Like, it
time.
makes so much sense, but I've definitely never heard anyone frame it that way. But I can even think about my own life, like just talking to like a barista at Starbucks.
Absolutely.
It just gives you like a little pep, and that's not like a flirt in the sense of I'm trying to like ask this person on a date, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So this did not come easily, and it still doesn't come. I mean, there's some days I don't feel particularly flirty, but that's okay.
So getting a little more tactical, what are some maybe like do's and don'ts of flirting in your opinion?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think here in 2025, people are very much into the in-person flirt, in real life flirting. And so if this is someone, right, you have never really seen before, maybe you've seen them about, but you don't really know their name kind of thing. The nonverbal flirting is like, this has to be part of it. I hear all the time, making eye contact is difficult for me. I don't feel like I'm good at it. Practice. I just answered this question earlier today, like again, and I will continue to answer it. Eye contact, like this has got to be a part of it. You've got to at least have your body language signal that you're open to a conversation, a question, a flirt, something like that. It's like if you're walking around, right, head down, staring into your phone, headphones in, like you won't even acknowledge somebody else. There's already that barrier because what your body language is signaling is don't talk to me.
What's the line though of like giving eye contact and then like looking like a creeper? Because I think this was something I struggled with. I'm just remembering because people are like, you must stare for like 7 seconds.
Oh my God.
I'd just be like, this feels really unnatural to me. Yeah.
That's a long time. What you do is you hold it for about that half second, full second longer. So there's that little bit of intention behind it, and also creates a little bit of perhaps tension, the T of the flirt, tension, excitement, where it's like, oh, this person was really like, they were looking at me. And then that's okay. Leave it there. Is your eye contact received? You pair it with a little bit of a smile, maybe a head nod, a tilt, a wave kind of thing. Or maybe you motion like at their hair or a piece of jewelry and then just give them like a thumbs up kind of thing as you're smiling. Like there's the nonverbal compliment, basically. And then how is it received? Do they acknowledge it? If it's received, I think now you have an invitation to go say hello, introduce yourself. And that can be your icebreaker. Yeah, don't overthink it. Just say hello. Maybe you're out running errands or whatever, and you're just like, or you're at a coffee shop, you're studying, you're working. You're like, just leave me alone. I know some people are like, I'm not here to be approached or to be flirted with.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That is totally okay too. And you don't want to encroach on someone's personal space.
What about this scenario? You're on a date with someone. Things are going fine. Not great.
Okay.
Maybe kind of boring. Maybe you can bring a little flirtiness to this dynamic. Some do's and don'ts in this scenario.
Okay, so something you can do is just a little bit of physical touch. Like, it's like on the forearm kind of thing. Or do you accidentally, graze your ankle against theirs as you're like, situating your feet or something. You sort of like go up to go to the bathroom, just gently put your hand on their shoulder kind of thing. Like, I'll be right back. Just breaching that touch barrier in a pretty PG way may shift and change that dynamics just a little bit, where now that other person could feel more comfortable perhaps, or maybe they don't. And you now know maybe they're not feeling it. They're not interested. They're anxious or something's going on. It's like, okay, this might be a one date kind of situation. Yeah. A good flirt tip here is people love to talk about things they're interested in, they're passionate about, instead of going on like, what do you do for work? Like, what did you study in school? What is the most interesting thing you learned about in school, or what was your favorite class kind of thing? Did you have one of those professor or teacher stories that you just like a class you couldn't wait to go to? Or what's something about your career that are you really excited about? Are there any projects coming up that I'd love to hear about them. And so invite them into the conversation, into the flirt, connecting on some storytelling, but specific to something that they're excited about. I mean, people love to pretty much talk about themselves. And when it's something that they're genuinely interested in and have a passion about, they're going to start to let their guard down a little bit. They're going to become more comfortable. And then, you're doing some of that eye contact, You're leaning in like, oh, I can't hear you kind of thing. Like, oh, I just wanted to get closer, a little bit of touch on the arm kind of thing. There you go. You're creating intimacy is what you're doing and building some momentum, some anticipation like, ooh, second date? Yeah, I'm excited now.
So I feel like my go-to is always like the light touch, like either on the arm or the leg. But I think for a hetero woman, that's maybe easier in today's climate than maybe for a hetero man.
Yeah.
Do you have any take on like consent culture in today's world? Because I think it's like kind of in one way, it's a shame that is harder, but I do think there's more that rides on it nowadays. And then we've heard people be like, should I ask for a kiss? Should I ask if I should touch them? And then it just like loses that magic, I think, a little. Like if you're like getting like every step of the way. What's your take on that?
On the one hand, like, I'm glad that we are respecting maybe boundaries more, right? Yeah. We're getting consent for even something like a kiss. But then to what you were saying, it's like, because I hear this all the time from the flirties, like, I don't want them to ask me, can they kiss me? Just do it, because it takes away a little bit of the magic. And so let's say it's a guy and girl dating situation. Like, I think if you're the girl, like, you could do some of that light touch, like you were saying. Or if you're the guy, maybe when you are greeting them for the date, instead of like, hey, how are you? Handshake kind of thing, like, could I give you a hug? Yeah. And so asking permission right at the top for something like a hug can just sort of like, you're building in some consent, you are getting permission for that, but then you've broken the touch barrier as well in a non-sexual way. And it could help just to alleviate some nerves and then talk about it. Like, you can then go into some more physical compliments, which can be a way to build consent as well. How are those physical compliments received?
When do you think someone should be blunt about their feelings for someone versus flirting their way to that? I will say I've never been more shocked than going to a gay bar with my friends and how blunt the flirting is. I mean, we're sitting there and he was like getting numbers and cards and drinks from left and right. Just like someone gave him a note that was like, "You're hot." And he's like, "Thanks." You would never see that at a hetero bar, but
to me, that doesn't even feel like flirting at that point. It's just like we're putting it out there. Yeah.
I mean, I came up with this 5D framework, the 5Ds of the flirt, the physical dimension, energetic, emotional, spiritual, and intellectual. And so for a flirt to really be a flirt, I want to see us playing in at least 3 dimensions. And so what you were just sharing was, it was a one-dimensional flirt. It was a completely physical, I think you're hot. Can I get you a drink? Do you want to dance? Like, it's an expressive interest solely based on the way somebody looks. That's literally it. And when you're at a gay bar, it's hot, you're dancing, you're drinking, probably shirts are coming off. That's kind of all it is. So it's like, it's flirty, but a little bit different.
Yeah. What's a way to be a little different than that? Because then, everybody was doing that to him. So if someone did it, they probably would stand out.
Yeah. So how to bring some nuance to the flirt that isn't as blunt. Sometimes you just got to read the room a little bit. And if you're in one of those situations, like you're at a club, you're dancing, maybe that is the type of flirt that you just go for. Like if you're trying to hook up later or something like that, you want to go out back and start making out. Just, I feel like the nonverbal becomes very touchy, right? And very physical relatively quickly. But what you can do, an example like that, I feel like trading socials perhaps, and then get into the DMs. If you're looking to have a date or go on a date or explore the connection beyond just that moment, it's like leave them wanting more. So flirt a little bit in that physical space, give them your number, trade socials, and then be like, I hope this isn't the only time I see you. You better text me kind of thing. Challenge them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So that's a good segue then into digital, because I feel like, you can definitely flirt in text or dating app messages or Instagram DMs. Like, what are your kind of do's and don'ts for that?
I think it somewhat depends on where you're at in the dating process.
Okay.
If you're meeting on the apps and then you're trying to go on to a date and you're dating because you want a relationship, like don't trade socials. Don't do it. Like just trade the number. And is this someone you're even going to meet? Is that even going to happen? Like let's just do that. But then like you're starting to date and I know like you check up, you want to vet them. You're looking on their socials, their Instagram, or they say, add me here. And right, you really get curious, or they send you a picture or something and it gets very confusing. And I'm sure you see in your work too, it just creates a lot of dating anxiety.
Yeah.
It creates so much uncertainty. There's a lot of expectations. There's this pressure, right, to always be available.
Yeah.
And then you see them online and, oh my God, but they're not texting me back. So, use it as a tool. Like it's just one of those tools in your dating toolbox. And so as let's say you've been dating someone now and you're not official yet, you're not exclusive, but you're linked up and you're texting, set yourself up for those in-person experiences. So maybe leading up to a date, you send them a nice selfie, right? Or a new outfit you're going to wear, something like that. Like, I can't wait to wear this for you tonight. Looking forward to our date kind of thing. And so use it as a way to flirt, as to still make it about the connection.
Yeah.
But leave them wanting more for that in-person experience. I think we gravitate and rely too heavily on digital. And then it just plays with, right, the dopamine and that instant gratification part of our brain where you're really going to develop that connection in person.
I definitely think like in person is a lost art that we're clearly trying to bring back. But
yeah,
I do think like, for example, my fiance on our first date, it was during COVID too. So that was already set us up for not like the touching and all of the like typical flirt behaviors that would happen. But I think also just his personality, I don't see him being like super flirty on a first date to someone Yue knows. So I think I kind of left like, but again, it was during COVID, so I wasn't really expecting it. So it worked in my favor. But I left being like, that was really fun. I like this person. Like, was it a romantic vibe, a friend vibe? Like, I'm down to see, but I couldn't really tell what he was feeling. But then on the way home, he texted and was like, oh, I meant to say like you looked really beautiful and like I would love to do this again.
Yes.
So what I like about this story is, I guess, twofold. Is like, one, it's never too late if you miss your opportunity on the date, like you can follow up. But also for the people that maybe aren't as comfortable in person, maybe that's the initial segue. It's not like you could only do text and then like moving forward, you're like stiff and completely away from the person, but it could be a way in.
Yes, absolutely. I love that story, right? Because he didn't miss his opportunity. It was, I can still follow this up right after the follow-up text after a date is phenomenal.
Prime time. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Let that be one of the takeaways for today. And then when it comes to digital communication and flirting, like think about all the ways. Like, are you sharing memes? Is it maybe a song? I love the Spotify blend. If you're both on Spotify,
yes, yep, we
blends.
Did that.
Yes, your two, just the types of music you're both listening to, and then creates a curated playlist between the two of you. I do that with some friends for road trips, and it's incredible, right? Do you share podcast episodes? Is it social media videos, articles, right? Anything. And then make it dimensional, right? So you could it's not just words on a screen. Maybe you bring in some pictures. You can play with emojis, right? It's really, really fun. It's ultimately their bids for connection. And so bringing it back to the point of connection, if you're thinking about somebody, you can say, I'm thinking about you without saying I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
So is that really like at the root of it, bids for connection is the way to think about it? Because I could hear people like what you were just saying be like, that all sounds great, but that just sounds like making conversation. Like, is there an actual difference? Or do you think it really is just reframing that definition of flirting again?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you are dating someone, then your texting can be flirty. I mean, it's not just about setting up the date or making plans or how was your day kind of thing. Like, think about you're sending the silly selfie or, right? So going back to that, just the theme of playfulness and fun with the flirt as well. You can make it suggestive, right? You can send thirst traps.
Yeah.
You can you can make it spicy. You can talk about things or reference a date or an experience. If you have crossed the touch barrier, like, oh, I'm just thinking about that time, right? That felt so good when you did XYZ thing. Pretty flirty. You're not sending that to your friend. You're sending that to someone, right? You're dating. And then let it breathe. Let it breathe. Leave them wanting more.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good gut check. Would you send this to your friend or talk to your friend this way? Or are you like bringing it up for a romantic prospect?
Oh, God. I don't know. I flirt with my friends all the time.
Me too.
My way of connecting. I'm like, I love flirting with my girlfriend.
I want to dive into this even more, but before we do, let's take a quick break to hear from our partners. What about like forms of micro flirting? Because I feel like this is a good way for people to ease in, and maybe it doesn't feel as like, oh my God, I need to be on, and go from 0 to 100. Like, what's your take on like maybe like light teasing or I don't know, subtle compliments, like something like that? But I guess how do you like still make it your intentions known if you're going to go more subtle?
I love the micro flirt. It's really, really good because it's a flirt that's relatively low stakes, right? So you're not necessarily coming into the flirt with like someone catches your eye, you think they're hot or cute, or, you're attracted to them in some way. And so you're taking away a lot of the things that may make you nervous in the flirt. Like I hear this all the time. Like I say, the hot guy is just a dude at the end of the day. Yeah. It's just like, he's just a person. You're nervous because you want them to like you. And so the stakes feel higher. And so think about the places and ways you can flirt where it's just a little bit of a lower stake, right? And so then you're feeling less anxious, less pressure. I'm thinking about an event of some kind. It could be a party. It could be a networking event. Maybe not specifically like a singles focus thing, like a mixer where the intent is built in, right? You're there to maybe find a date or something like that. But like a networking event, a party, even like a coffee shop, something like that. And so make it a practice to flirt, not just with someone you think is hot, like you're limiting yourself to the flirt, and it's always going to have a little bit of that expectation built in probably. And then making some of that eye contact, you could start with the non-physical, physical compliment and just see how it's received. Like we're really coming back to that point of reception. And if it's received well, the person seems like they're in a space, they've got a little bit of time. Well, then maybe you stand a little bit closer to them, or you just sort of shift your weight on one foot and, you're leaning into them a little bit more, perhaps. You're being more flirty with your body language, with your eye contact. Yeah, you're being kind of a little bit bashful, perhaps. Or if you like that playful roasting style of flirt, just sort of those light, like you don't want to be dismissive or like put someone down in the flirt.
The neg
like,
is not good.
Yeah.
No, that is a style of flirting. I mean, if you're in a relationship, you're dating and you're both doing that to one another and it's super fun for you, of course. But yeah, someone you're just getting to know, it's like, it doesn't feel good to be like
made fun of.
Yeah. Remember that time I ghosted you or something like that? Like it's yeah, but you can playfully, roast them perhaps a little bit.
Well, this is a trickier situation in line with microflirting.
Yeah.
What if you're in a crowded situation, they're surrounded by their friends or a group of people, and you're trying to get closer to them or at least flirt with them?
Confidence. Walk up, honestly.
Really?
Yes.
Penetrate the group of friends?
1000%. You know who they're going to be talking about after that interaction? You.
Yeah, you.
You are going to be the topic of conversation in that friend group soon thereafter, and the next day, the next week, in the group chat, at brunch, they're going to be talking about you. Like in the friend group is like if you're kind of waiting for when to be approached and you're sort of signaling with your eye contact, like with your body language kind of thing, like they probably have safety in that group and they're waiting for someone to approach them, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe their friends are hyping them up, like, go talk to them, go talk to that person kind of thing. Like, oh, no, I don't know. I'm so nervous. Stand out, walk over. You're getting some of that, right? Nonverbal flirting first, that expression of interest. Do they at least see you, acknowledge your presence, walk over, introduce yourself? Hey, like I couldn't help it. I saw you from across the room. I wanted to come over and say hello. My name is Benjamin. What's your name?
So I hear like our anxious listeners just be
Yes,
like,
I know. They're dying
what if
inside.
I get rejected and then I don't want to be talked about over brunch and the group chat and all the stuff? What advice would you have for them to just not care?
There's nothing to be rejected from. They're not going to deny you and not say hello back. They're not going to reach out and shake your hand or say, oh, hey, nice to meet you. My name is. And then you got to give the flirt room to breathe and just let it become what it's going to become. No expectations. There's no rejection in that example. You were bold, you were confident, you did something that I'm sure was really difficult. You took a deep breath before you did it, but now you're not in your head. Oh my God, what if? Oh, did I miss my opportunity? You're thinking about it later, right? You're laying in bed at night. Oh, I should have said hello. You did.
Right. Because you're not like going up to the group and being like, will you go out with me? So,
like, will you marry me?
Yeah.
No.
You're saying hello. And if saying hello is a crime, then that's more on them than on you. I like that reset.
Exactly.
I'm just thinking about your friend, Julie, the one that's like, whoever approaches her, she's like, I have a husband.
Yeah.
I have a boyfriend. Don't talk to me. I'm not single. Like that, I can see that being a form of rejection. But I guess if you're talking to someone like that, then who cares?
I think one of the things I struggled with, like when I was single, is I just remember still to this day, I was in this salad place, like waiting in line.
Oh, yeah.
And this like actually like really attractive guy started talking to me. And he like made some comment about like my order and like getting croutons in the salad. And I think like now I can see he was like trying to flirt and open combos. Yeah. But I think also for people that, you know, sometimes it takes you off guard if you're not expecting it. Because I think I was definitely that person that was like, I went from zone to zone. Like if I was like in the zone of like getting my food and the work day, I wasn't thinking about like romantic and flirting. And then also like nowadays people just don't talk to you in real life. So like if someone does, sometimes it can be like, you know, I don't even know what to say back. And I look at it now and I was like, I mean, even like, I think right when I was leaving the salad place, I was like, damn it, I was not receptive.
I love croutons.
Croutons. Give me more croutons.
Because I was like, he was attractive. Like there was no reason for my like standoffish reaction, right?
Yeah.
But like, what would you say to people like that, I guess, to be receptive to the flirt?
Yeah.
That's so real though, because I hear from flirties all the time where now like maybe they're seeing my videos for the first time or they've kind of been with it for a little bit and they're realizing, oh, wait, I have been flirted with, right? And now I can think about that time and the salad place with the croutons with the hot guy. Wait, he was flirting with me,
oh my
right?
God.
Yeah. And so what I would say is, you know, if you're trying to sort in retrospect or hindsight, be like, oh my God, was that a flirt? Was that not a flirt? Because I get that question all the time. Like, are they flirting with me? Or are they just being nice? I say, be a little bit delulu in moderation. It's a flirt. If you're questioning yourself, just assume feel the flirt. Let it be about connection and then not try and figure out, oh my God, are they flirting? Are they being nice? But maybe you'd be like, you know what? I am going to get croutons on my salad today, right? What are you having for lunch?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Lulu. It's the Salulu. You got to just be like, everyone is flirting with me.
Why not?
This bus driver, this dog walker. I mean, everyone is flirting with me. Why not live in that universe? You're right. Why not have that thought?
Well. Made it this far on Dateable talking about flirting. So I'd say it's working.
So another question that I think we get a lot, and I'm thinking about the salad example, like hypothetically, let's say I embrace the conversation. I think a lot of people ask, okay, you have the back and forth. you're flirting, you're doing the thing. How do you ask for the number or like take it to that next level, or maybe Instagram handle or whatever? Like, how do you move things along?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I know some of the listeners are probably thinking like, well, how do I know if they're even single?
Right.
How can I know relationship status? Another one I get is how do I know how they identify, right? I'm a gay guy. Is this person, right? If I'm flirting with a guy, are they straight? Are they bi? What's happening? Are they queer? Somewhere in that realm, you have absolutely no idea. And so what you could do, it's like, don't necessarily put the pressure on yourself that like you have to get the number or the socials. Like maybe sometimes it's just an in the moment flirt, point of connection. But if it's somewhere where you go regularly, somewhat consistently to get lunch, maybe you see this person again, and now you've set yourself up for the next time. Oh, hey, nice to see you again. Guess what? I'm trying croutons today.
I know. I was like, I should have been going back to that place every week.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, their salads were not good at all.
Oh, no. I mean, damn. To get the number, though, I know it's going to be difficult. My heart's racing in the moment just thinking about it, because they could possibly be like, oh, actually, I'm in a relationship, or, you know, they do the thing where they, oh, sure, yeah, you can text me, but then they're maybe doing it to just be nice because they don't want to put that boundary there. It's okay. Part of the flirt when it comes to this is taking a risk.
Yeah.
But if you can take a risk in this way, you're proving to yourself that you can take a risk in perhaps education, career, with other friendships, with other relationships. Like you're proving to yourself that you can do it. And ultimately taking action gets you out of your head. Taking action will give you clarity. So now you're not, you know, a week later being like, oh my God, I wonder what they're doing. Were they single? Were they not? I don't know. Will I see them again? I hope I do. You took action and now you don't have to be in your head about it. Release attachment from all those expectations, and maybe it turns into a date. So, hey, I'm so glad I ran into you today. It was really nice meeting you. If you haven't introduced yourself, my name is Benjamin. I'd love to catch up sometime and grab coffee with you. Would you be up for that?
Oh, that's nice.
You don't have to even propose it as a date.
Right.
Yeah.
You can just start with a one-on-one time together outside of this specific interaction, and then go from there. Maybe you make a friend.
Yeah. The last area I want to talk about before we wrap up into takeaways, what about dating profiles? Is there a way to get flirty on your dating profile, or is it really like you need to have the conversation?
You can definitely get flirty with your dating profile too. I mean, think about some of the pictures that you may include. You can do some emojis, I think are really, really fun. Flirty tactic you can do for your dating profile is the question that's a little bit of a challenge. So maybe what's coming to mind, let's say you did trapeze, whatever, one day, and that was one of your profile pictures. And it's something like, oh, right, I bet you couldn't do a somersault off the trapeze, right? Winky face emoji kind of thing. And so it's a fun, flirty way to sort of like roast, playfully jab a little bit without having a direct conversation. So those are a few ways. And then just make sure and include, right, of course, in your profile, in your bio, some things that you're really interested in, right? Some things you like. Make sure it's about you first and foremost. And then that will give people those points of connection to you as well, giving someone a little glimpse into who you are and your world.
I mean, so many takeaways from this conversation. This has been wonderful. I think first and foremost, I think this reframe of flirting, to think about it always as a way of connecting, is huge. And also, like, how can I bring my authentic self to flirting too? I love what we're talking about is like, don't be afraid to play around, like get playful, like whatever the version of you is that you want to come out, like experiment and do things. And if you do something and you're like, ooh, that does not sound like me, it's okay. You don't have to do it again. But you tried and put it out there. And I think the idea of being able to work with different mediums, I don't think it's hiding behind a medium of like online and then I'm going to like clam up in person, but maybe you can test certain things on like the apps or on, you know, text that you wouldn't necessarily say in person, but like how do you eventually bridge it over? The other piece I really liked that I think is a really good gateway, it kind of plays up to what you were talking about, is that people ultimately want to be seen and they want to talk about themselves, but this compliment that's not about the physical, like we always say, like find something they're wearing, find something that like is an expression of them and ask about it. Like that is a simple, easy way in that doesn't even require you to think up an opening line or do anything like that. Or your surroundings, like the example you gave, Yue, about the coffee shop, of looking at someone's book or seeing the environment they're in with the good banana bread, or the salad example that didn't go well, but in his
but he was still talking about it years later, it did go well.
I did. And I think that brings me to my last takeaway is that we don't have to get attached to the outcome of every flirt. I think what I heard from what you were saying is it's flexing that muscle. It's building up that rapport, and then eventually something is going to come together. I think of a story of one of our listeners in our community, and he met his girlfriend at a grocery store. And he said that he had to talk to 500 people, though, before he met his girlfriend. And he's like, yeah, like, I'm so glad I did it, though, because it ultimately led to her. But like, think about like in those, I mean, I don't know if 500 was an exact number, but that's what he said when he told us. And I think you think of it like some of them might have ignored him. Some of them might not have been receptive. Some of them, maybe they were, but they didn't have that exchange of info. But eventually it all like came together.
Yeah, I recently had an interaction on the register where it was kind of the non-physical compliment. Someone came in buying some daffodils. And I was like, wow, you picked such a beautiful daffodil. Is this one of your favorite flowers? So compliment right there with a question. And then here we go into the flirt. I'm going to say yeah, because it had the energy, it had the vibe, it had the intention. It was in the moment, no expectation, no pressure. And then learned that she was celebrating the anniversary of her mom's passing, and they always planted daffodils together. And this was her mom's favorite flower. Then I asked about her mom, and it got a little bit emotional, but at the end it ended with a hug. And I started to tear up a little bit too. It was just really special. I mean, this happened weeks ago. I still remember it. And I bet that customer does as well. And if I hadn't have just got it going, I mean, I could have said, hey, how are you? Find everything today? Cool. And that could have been the whole thing.
Right. And that's so missing in today's world. Like those interactions.
We need the connection.
Yeah. So flirt with everyone. I love this. Whether it's practice flirting or just bringing that into your like vibe. And then it just becomes a lot easier too when you meet someone that could be of interest.
And that was my biggest learning in this conversation, where I used to think flirting was about revealing something internal, like revealing your feelings, revealing a vulnerability. But the way you spun it, to me, we're looking at it as an act of service.
1,000%.
It's a question of, can I give you some attention right now?
Absolutely.
And some people might be like, no, I don't want attention right now. Cool. And some people might be like, oh, you saw me? You want to give me attention? Yes, please. So if we can see it as less about ourselves and just more about the external, like the people we're connecting with, I just don't think rejection would even be part of the equation.
I'm thinking of an interview I heard with Dr. Sue Varner, and she was talking about optimism and how to have a positive mindset and just be more optimistic, right? And one of the ways to do that is through acts of service, through giving. And if you can share some energy with someone, maybe offer a compliment, just say hello, smile, wave, nod kind of thing. That's the energy I think we need more of in the world. And so,
yes, we do.
Yeah, that's what I've dedicated my life to.
Yes, we do. And if people want to learn more about your life, where can they go to?
Well, very branded over here at Flirt headquarters at Benjamin Camras across all your socials, primarily on Instagram. I'd say if you're going to pick one, I'd love for you to come over there because I do my Flirt Fridays every Friday and stories answering your flirting and dating questions all day throughout the weekend on YouTube. I've got some flirt yoga videos and longer videos over there. If TikTok's still around, would love to see you over there as well. Who knows? And then the Flirtations Flirtcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you so much for having me on Dateable. This was amazing, just getting to share about my favorite thing in the world, flirting, and I hope inspire more connections. Also, the connection you have with yourself, too. So important.
Very true.
Love it. We'll link all of that in the show notes as well.
Sounds good.
Yes. And for our listeners, if you are checking out Benjamin's podcast, why not to give him a 5-star rating and review in Apple Podcasts? It really helps all of us. And you can do the same for us too. 5 stars. And in the body of your review, maybe you can write something about what you're working on with flirting recently. We love to hear that from you. And order our book, howtobedateable.com.
Yeah.
Everywhere books are sold.
You can bring a whole new energy to our showing up chapter.
All right, we're going to wrap up this episode.
Stay dateable.